Silicon Valley, technology, art, green, and sustainability.
Welcome to another episode of Silicon Valley Tech, Art, Green, and Sustainability. Today I have with me an artist who I met a couple weekends ago, and I've been always meaning to go to the Naglee Park Open Studio, and your work was just, I was enamored with it, and it's Karen Claras. Is that how you pronounce it?
Uh-huh.
All right, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Heather.
Yeah, your work is amazing, and your studio, like I was just foaming at the mouth going, this is the studio that I want to build for my mom and her artwork.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and your background before you started doing art, or have you been doing it your whole life, or yeah.
So I've always been creative, and started at a young age as a letter writer. My mom enabled my love of papers and pencils and stickers, and so I'd write letters and then I'd decorate the envelope. So I'd do all the artwork on the envelope. So my first audience really were mail carriers and the recipients of my letters.
That's awesome. And did you go to school formally to be an artist, or?
I did not. It's all, anybody can do it if you're curious and have some passion, I guess. Anybody can do what I do. I don't know how to draw necessarily. Actually, I don't know how to draw at all. So I'll use stencils or that sort of thing when I need an actual horse or something like that.
Did you work in a different field before you did art, or what did you do before?
So I was a legal assistant and for many years, and a personal assistant thereafter, and just retired this year.
Congratulations, you look too young to be retiring.
I probably am, but I'm lucky, I guess.
You get to follow your passion.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. And so I started doing art full time.
So your art is really amazing. It seems to have a sustainability and green edge about it, and we've got some of it around here, and hopefully we can get some close-ups in a minute. Tell us about your artwork, and yeah.
So again, from a young age, I loved found objects. I loved picking up things out of the street that was rusty or torn paper. To me, it's art in waiting. And so that's, what I'm getting to do now. I prefer materials that are used, whether it's from a garage sale, an estate sale, found on the street,
let's pull up, I'm going to pull up the first slide, and then we're going to hopefully get some close-ups of this. So if we can pull up the first one. This one here is your signature piece, I think somebody said. Tell us about that.
So that's a collage on a piece of cardboard. So I'm sitting in my art studio, and it's not that I come up with the idea and do it, it's that I'll see a piece of paper or even a piece of cardboard and just pull it down and start collaging that.
And so it was, you cut something out, you didn't draw it like you were saying a minute ago.
So the girl, her face is actually from a sewing pattern, and the rest of it is, just was a collection of scrap paper I have in a basket, and I just started, collaging it on and layering it, and
then let's bring the next slide up too, which is another piece. Oh, this is your studio, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, which is just a great space, and we can pull that down. I'm not sure. Can we get a close up of some of the stuff on the table, or do I need to hold it up? See if we can. Maybe I can hold a couple pieces.
Yeah.
These are some of the more intricate pieces. I don't know if we can get a close up of that. And tell me about this one.
So those are watch parts, and that's a popular thing right now in jewelry making and all different forms of art. So I started collecting old watches or just wristwatches and taking them apart and putting them back together differently. So those can be collaged to a box or anything else.
I'm going to hold up another one here too. We've got two here. Another one that's got a watch and a matchbook, right?
Yes. So that's
we can get a close up of that too.
A matchbook collaged with a page out of the dictionary.
Oh, wow.
And then the little watch piece and some wings glued to that. And the other piece is, again, it's a matchbook, and I did some soldering on the picture, and that actually would eventually, so that's unfinished, but that would turn into this.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so we can hold that up again. I don't know if you can get a close up of that. So the first one there, which I was holding up, would be eventually finished like this.
Exactly.
So this is a lot of intricate soldering, time consuming. Yeah.
Yeah, not too long. I did that in, I think, 2 days.
Wow.
And
so for prices, people can call you or email you with pricing, because we don't talk about pricing on the show. I think there's another slide. Let's bring up another slide now too, which I'm not sure if this is studio. I don't know if this is paint on the right.
Yes.
And is it thread?
Bottles
and
of thread paint.
Okay. And then on the left, you had really interesting ways to do your bookshelves. Tell us about that.
So in the hardware store, I saw some L brackets and was inspired by that and brought a bunch home and asked my husband to hang them on the wall for me, which he did, and I stacked my books on them. And so it's a great way to display some of my books, vintage books, and books I may use in art, and not take up a lot of space, and have it be a point of inspiration.
The film reels on there too, which is really cute.
Yeah,
I think I need to take some cues from you on the not having the clutter. I'm starting to be like my mom with the clutter. It's like, wait, I'm never going to get to the sewing project. I just need to put it in the basement.
Yeah, right. That is a challenge.
You don't want to throw anything out. And I'm not sure if that's from my mom's era, where she was brought up with the World War II thing, where they saved everything.
Yes.
But it's also artistic thing too. So tell us about it. So again, do you buy things to make, or you just buy things that you find things that are reclaimed? How do you get most of your materials then?
So my preference is either estate sales, and when I go to an estate sale, I like to go to the garage or the very back, where they have the stuff that they just didn't quite get to get sorted. And that's really where I find so many great treasures.
That's awesome.
You can get a whole bag of items for a couple bucks, because anyone can do this art. You don't have to have money. A lot of the stuff I use is free. For instance, phone book pages. I do a lot of my collage work with phone book pages. I
have a stack I can give you.
Right, and phone books are free, right? And
I just stopped someone from delivering some to our house the other day, because it seems like they come every couple months, but it's not that often.
They do. They come a lot,
and I never use them. I have to get on that no mail list for those.
Right.
So you're doing a lot to help with the reuse and the reclaim. We had someone from Recology's art and resident program there, which is just, I guess there's people all over the world that come and look at their program, because instead of putting it into the dump, they have the artists and residents who, kind of cherry pick things and then make art, which is just wonderful. Let's pull up another slide too. I think I'm behind on the slides. We're going to pull up 4, 5, and 6 right away. This is another piece here that's just amazing.
So that's a little terrarium. I've done quite a few terrarium workshops. And you don't have to do it like you used to see them with just plants. You can add treasures and
what is the cylinder there?
So it's just a glass container that I got at the thrift store, and then inside I did a bird nest on a stick with the 2 babies in it, and
it's cute.
And then the little plastic animal and a rock and. Yeah.
So I'm going to pull up another one too now, and I'm not sure if this is. Let's pull this up. Yep. So this was in your studio. I took this photo actually on my iPhone. I was surprised how good it came out. Matchbooks. And
Yeah.
I love the little suit there, or whatever. Tell us about
little
these
jackets.
Yeah.
So that